Remember Wizardry Online? It's a hardcore MMO released in 2013, marketed as an intense MMO with so-called permadeath. In this video, we're gonna take a look at Wizardry Online, we're gonna check out the gameplay, talk about the monetization, the features, and watch the trailer. Wizardry Online is a fantasy MMORPG, and with that said, let's do this! Welcome back, Saviors. GH here. First off, what is Wizardry Online? It's an MMORPG based on the classic Wizardry games. If you're not familiar with the Wizardry games, it's from the 1980s and 1990s. The earlier ones are text-based, and it eventually had a bit of graphics. It's kinda like a dungeon crawler. Now, in Wizardry Online, players could engage in a wide variety of activities, from exploring the game worlds in its dungeons, completing quests, and engaging in PvP battles with other players. And going to its old YouTube page, according to their first post, Wizardry Online is a free-to-play, hardcore fantasy MMORPG. From insane difficulty to complex mazes, unrelenting mobs and traps around every turn, even the best RPG players will find this to be the ultimate challenge. What makes it stand out from other MMORPGs, according to Wizardry Online's developers, is the permadeath feature. It was a significant aspect of the game that added a high level of risk and challenge for players. Permadeath was not always an instant consequence of a character's death, but rather a possibility that increased with each failed attempt to revive the character. The chances of successful revival depended on various factors such as the character's soul rank and cause of death. Navigating the spirit world to revive characters added to the overall challenge and intensity of the game, as players had to find save points and avoid enemies that could reduce their chances of successful revival. Wizardry Online begins by offering players a choice from 4 races: the humans, the elves, the dwarves, and porkles, which is a small race, and according to this, they are fast and lucky and are great as a thief class. Now, along with the races or the classes, it's the usual fighter, thief, mage, and priest. The character customization is very basic. We can select from a few face, hair presets, and hair color, and once you're done, you can confirm your character creation, and a cutscene will start that will show you an introduction to the game. And then you will be dropped in a port, where the game will begin. Movement is WASD, there goes the help menu, shift to dash, space to jump, and the mouse is for moving the camera, interacting with the world, and attacking a target. Now, here's the combat. As you can see, it's a mix of action and tap target. Some gamers call this hybrid because there is an adequate amount of action elements in here, like parrying, dodging, and actually trying to hit an enemy. But it's important to note that when you are casting a skill, a highlight is required before casting a spell, which is, as you all know, is tap target behavior. That said, you can attack with the left mouse button, parry if need be, and dash to avoid telegraph attacks. Now, as for the progression, it was designed to be challenging and rewarding for players. Characters begin at level 1 and you could progress from there. Advancement was achieved through a combination of combat experience and completing quests. The combat experience system works similarly to other MMORPGs, with characters earning experience points for defeating enemies. However, the amount of experience earned was balanced to provide a challenging experience that required careful planning and strategy. Players could also complete quests to earn experience points and advance their characters. Now, Wizardry Online is released in 2013 and it's developed by GamePot, a Japanese publisher and developer, and they published notable MMORPGs in Japan such as Cabal Online, Laetale, and the 2006 anime MMORPG Fantasy Earth Zero. And they made Wizardry Online on a game engine called Gamebryo. It's the go-to game engine of the early 2010s. A chunk of free-to-play MMOs we got around that time was made in Gamebryo, like Warhammer Online, Wizard 101, Ragnarok Online 2, Eden Eternal, and the list goes on. Despite Wizardry Online's developers' efforts and supports of its loyal fanbase, Wizardry Online struggled to gain widespread popularity and support, and in 2014, Sony Online Entertainment announced that the game would be shut down, citing the lack of broad-based support. The shutdown was met with disappointment from the game's dedicated fanbase, who had enjoyed the game's challenging and immersive gameplay. However, many also acknowledged the game's flaws and lack of widespread appeal, and recognized that the decision to shut down the game was ultimately a business decision. Nowadays, Wizardry Online is completely dead, but there are groups of fans working to get a private server up, so there is still hope that we can play it again. So how about the monetization of Wizardry Online? The game uses a free-to-play model with microtransactions. Players could download and play the game for free, but if they wanted to access certain features or items, they would have to pay real money. Some of the things players could purchase include special gear, upgrade items, and potions. The game also had a premium membership option which gave players additional benefits such as increased experience points. The death of Wizardry Online is a sad reminder of how poor monetization models can ruin a potentially decent game. Despite its unique gameplay mechanics and immersive world, the game's heavy reliance on microtransactions and pay-to-win features eventually drove away players and led to its ultimate demise. And that's Wizardry Online in 2023. I only played this for a brief amount of time, and I want to play it again as a content creator. I've been waiting for private servers to go online for quite some time, and I don't know, the development seemed to have stopped. Let's hope they make some advancement on the private servers so we can check it out again. And here is the trailer, guys. See you in the next one.